Alright, here we are again. This is my second time recording this video because it crashed in the middle of me doing it the last time and I didn't even realize. So I got almost all the way through the video before I realized OBS wasn't recording anymore. So this is a Class B ship that I've been playing around with. It's kind of like a small variant of the, not a smaller, but a different variant of the Gateway ship build that I was showcasing last week. So this is got about 4,000 cargo, which my previous Gateway build I was going for speed. I use those White Dwarf 3015 engines to give it the top speed of 180. But this one I wanted to go for cargo. And if you want to maintain 100 mobility, cargo with a Class B means just a little over 4,000. It's going to be the most you can get out of it before your mobility drops, which I don't like to build ships with less than 100 mobility. So here it is. We'll get down to the shipbuilder. I'll take it apart, show you what makes it tick, take you for a tour inside, and we'll take it into combat and see how it performs. It's a pretty simple design. I think most of the parts are from Nova Galactic. I wanted to keep the bay here, the landing bay, up at the front, and I'll show you why. Because I originally had it in the rear. That allowed me to add one extra hab, 2x1 hab, but I decided it wasn't worth it. And, you know, having to run all the way to the back of the ship to get in every time. It's a lot easier to just have you dump you out on the front. Talk to the
Anything I
tech.
can help you with? Okay, no problem.
Alright, I called it the Delta Dart. It's a interceptor in real life. High-speed interceptor. But it's a simple, like I said, it's a simple design. I don't go for like real gaudy looks with pieces hanging out everywhere or big-ass wings with like negative space in between. And by negative space, I mean like if I were to have this out here and like this, and then like with these connected back here, you know, like have like a big pylon or something, and then have all this negative dead space in here where nothing, there's just nothing. I don't think that's very efficient for a ship build. I can't imagine anybody actually building a ship in real life like that because, you know, space counts. Every mass, every kilogram of mass that you put into the ship needs to be as efficient as possible to get you know the most bang for your buck. I mean, I'm not saying it, you know, you can't have aesthetics because, you know, even I'm using trim pieces and stuff, you know, but I'm just saying that I don't like to have giant open areas in the ship that aren't being used. So this is the bottom. I've got my grav drive and my reactor on the sides here. And what I originally had was uh, this in the back, because you only need one. Here, let me, just to verify. So we have 4 of these NG20 landing gears. We only need 3. See, I'm still nominal, just with 3. So what I had done was I changed this to the other variant like that. I stuck it right up under the cockpit. Then I moved this to the back. Put this. See, that goes right there. Like that. Have this in the rear. Then the grav drive and the reactor goes like that. Now I have these 2 open spots here, and you can put 3. Where before I had 2x1 halves. Now I can get 3 in there. And I had to play around with the weight. There's some other stuff I can do, but anyways, that's what it. What the hell? Oh, I didn't push them in far enough. It's kind of hard to see from the bottom of these designs. I know this used to work. Oh, yeah, that goes like that. And that goes over there like that. There we go. So that's what the ship originally look like with the rear loader, and it kind of turned into a little bit of a labyrinth inside. But that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would bring it up to 9 total 2i1 habs that you could play with. Whereas in the design that I went with at the end, I think you only have 8. But it's not a big deal. 8 halves is still quite a bit. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm all about efficiency, and I don't. I just didn't like having to run all the way to the back of the ship every time because it's kind of a long ship. So this is what I settled with. It's just having one long uh, tunnel base or path to navigate on the top and the bottom, and then in the center it's just that Nova Galactic mess hall. All right. Anyways, for fuel, I did 3 of these Ulysses M30 tanks. I needed, I think my calculations when I did the testing was 276 or 274 fuel that I needed, so this gives me 300, which is enough. And then I trimmed out the rest of it using these Nova cowlings, so they blend right in with the tanks. And I could save a few tons by getting rid of these tanks and going with what are they called? These Titan tanks. I think I could use one of those and then one of those. And I could delete the M30s, and then I would have to add that, and that. Yeah, and I would save, what does that give me, another 8 tons to play with. So I think when I did the extra habs, that's how I did it to get my mobility back to 100. So anyways, just, as I'm designing ships, I'm always trying to find little ways of increasing efficiency. But in this case, I like the looks of this. I didn't want to have to put the tanks back here or down here somewhere. I kind of wanted to keep everything off the bottom, which is kind of strange. I know I got the weapons under the, but usually I have a bunch of stuff here along the sides on the bottom, and I was trying to avoid that this time. So I guess if you took these wings off, then you'd move the weapons up here. I guess you could just have like the ship itself without the wings, but I don't know. I don't like the look of that. Anyways, I'll take this thing apart. I'll show you how it goes together, and then we'll take it out for a spin and see how she performs in combat. Alright, stand by. Alright, we're back. I got this thing, for the most part, disassembled. I'm going to do this a little different. Instead of fully disassembling it, I'm going to do this by layers. So this bottom here would be deck 1. Over here is deck 2. And then this will be deck 3. And this will make it easier for me to remember how to put it together, because I'll forget and I'll have to keep going back and editing the video until I figure it out. So starting out with the Tayo Shipbed 200, you can get these at Neon, facing forward. If you didn't know, these can go forwards or backwards. And then behind it, we're going to use a Nova Galactic Living Quarters 2x1. Another Nova Galactic Living Quarters 2x1 behind that. And then we're going to, we'll just start from the front here. We'll hook up our 2 Nova braking engines on port and starboard. 2 NG20 landing gear wide configuration on either side there. We're going to use our Aurora 12G grav drive, DC 303 fast ignition reactor on this side. And then the second 2, there's 4 total of these NG20 landing gears. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our engines, we're using 4 of these SAE 5660 engines. These are going to be the most thrust you can get out of a Class B ship. We'll put just like that. And that forms deck 1, which is just really comprised of 2 living quarters and then all the gears and equipment. Deck 2 is going to be we'll start over from the back here. We'll put our second or third and fourth SAE 5660 engines. These engines you can only get from Freestar ports like Neon is where I got mine. I think you might be able to get them at Cheyenne, but I don't know. But I always these are the guy that gives you the SAL 6330 or 6830 engines and do the All That Money Can Buy quest. This is Slayton Aerospace. He's the guy that owns these engines, so he's based out of Neon, so that's just where I go to buy them. In between the cavity, or in the back here, we're going to do 2 of these Galleon S201s, and we're going to put them facing outwards, like that. Then we're going to do a Nova Galactic mess hall 2x3. Then 2 of these Galleon S203 cargo holds. And then in the center here, we're going to do a Nova Galactic control station 2x1. And in the cockpit's going to be a Magellan C1X. Okay, for the wings, we're using 6 total of these Nova Cowling 2Ls. And we're going to put one there, one here. One, that doesn't go there, sorry. These go up here. There we go, just like that. So there's like these little slots here, and we'll just slot it in right there. And we can put our wings on just like that. Okay, for the deck 3, it's just a control station, Nova Galactic 2x1, and a Nova Galactic Captain's Quarters 2x1. So put that there, up there, and then kind of slope off the top here, we're going to use, or taper off, we're going to use a Nova Cowling 2L. And now while I was playing with this, I found out something that I didn't know about this piece. It actually has a mid variant. I never noticed that. So that's kind of cool for future reference. And they can also face backwards. So we're just going to set it right there. So it doesn't block your view or anything. Your window's all the way up here. But it just gives it a nice tapered look. So for fuel, we're going to use 3 of these M30 Ulysses HE3 tanks. So on my calculations, I needed 300 or 370. I think it was 274 or 276 fuel, and this will give me 300. And then for the rest of it, we're just going to use these Nova Cowlings, and they can be the mid variant, the rear, or the fore. And so we're gonna. They look just like the tanks, so it's nice to you can hide the fuel tanks within these cowlings. You'll slope off the back here with the rear caps and then the forward caps. And then it's just a matter of adding your guns. I'll go over the weapons here in just a second. I had a little bit of extra weight at the end here, so I put a tail on. And then our Docker is going to go, we'll just stick it right there. And then as far as our guns, oh, I got one more piece here. I forgot the porthole in the back of the captain's quarters, so I can just look out the back. As far as weapons, I'm using 3 of these Exterminator 95 mega electron volt helion beams. You know what? I got these on wrong. So these are Exterminator 95 mega electron volt auto helion beams. I got all 3 of the autos on this side. And then on this side, yeah, I got 3 of the standard non-auto Exterminator 95 mega electron volt helion beams. And then for the weapon 3, I'm just using 6 of the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. And I just put them on top. And then you don't have to use these equipment plates. You can stick them here, or up here. But I kind of like just the way they kind of flow back. And I had 2 tons to play with, so whatever. And then with a shield, there's really only 2 options when you're using Class B shields that are worth it. Is this, excuse me. Sorry. Vanguard Bulwark Shield Generator, which gives you 1450. Or you can use this, do they not have it here? Oh, here it is. 28T Defender. This is actually the best shield generator for Class B. It's 1500 max shield health. The most powerful Class C is 1600, so it's almost the same as the most powerful Class C shield generators. But this one is 90 tons of mass. This one is 70, so 20 tons. And you only get an extra 50 shields out of it, so I just decided to go with the Vanguard Bulwark shield generator for just a little bit more efficiency. This is the ship. I'm happy with it. It came out pretty sleek. Anyways, we'll take you for a little tour inside. I use these thrusters, and it's a lot of designs. I just like the way the Nova Galactic thrusters look. And as I said earlier, I could have made this a little bit more, like I could have added a little bit more hub space, but I wanted to have this docker up front. And if you put the gear here under the cockpit, then obviously you can't have this bay here. It's got to go somewhere else. So deck 1 is just 2 of these living quarters down here. I guess I could move that the docker to down over here so it's not that ladder sticking up right there. So this is where the crew will hang out in these 2 habs when they're not working. Yeah. Get out of third person, I can barely move around. So deck 2 is just this mess hall. And I think I've said in other videos, this is my favorite hab. I just love the idea of having a big mess hall for, common area for everybody to hang out. And then deck 2 is where the cockpit is. So I have my control station here for the crew to work. And then the cockpit's up here. And then deck 3 is just the next. This is also where the crew, another 4 stations for the crew to work. So that brings me up to 8. Actually, I think it came out to 9 because the way the weapons work in this game increases how many crew you can have. So with the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, because there's 6 of them, I think it pushed it up to 9. Even though you can only have 8 crew members max that are assigned to the ship at any given time. I'm back here in my personal captain's quarters. And, oh, I thought that was a Varun symbol there for a second. That's just a coffee stain. A little bedroom. This is the only captain's quarters that has like a own little bedroom in here, which is kind of cool. And then I got my window to look out when I'm just sitting here and space out. So anyways, we'll go down to the cockpit. We'll take off. Let's see how much cargo I get with my... I don't have any crew members assigned. I got tired of listening to them talk all the time. We'll see what I have the payloads skills. Gives me an extra 50% cargo. rebalance my weapons. There we go. Alright. We've got 6,394 cargo. And let me see. Let me get my calculator out here. If I had Samco on board, 6,394, we'll say it gives you 10%. That would give me 7,033 cargo-ish. It's not exactly 10%. I don't know what the X factor is. But like I said, I got tired of listening to them talk all the time. So I booted them off. I called it the Delta Dart, which is a high-speed interceptor in real life from like the 50s or 60s or something like that. So, I don't know. Let's go over to the Serpentis system for our combat trials. All right.
Aha! An offering for the great serpent! We must repair the crab drive!
That's one.
Get our shields up
Ah!
quickly!
Let's see if there's any hostile areas out here. So this is on very hard difficulty with NG plus 10. So it's actually harder to kill these guys than it used to be. That they've increased the
You
difficulty,
have
which is a good
restored
thing
two!
because it was like absurdly easy before. Zoom in behind this guy.
Systems stable! We continue the fight!
Thrust. Always be thrusting in combat.
Crab drive offline!
I'll tap the thrusters a lot, or the afterburners a lot, just for a few seconds, just to break their lock. Hitting the thrusters, like once you boost, tapping the thrusters will take you out of afterburner, so you don't waste all your go juice. Oh look, I leveled 211. Speaking of which, how many points have I got? 5. I gotta start doing something. I was thinking about leveling melee, just to try out, I don't know, dueling. I've been slacking. Anyways, let me try one more, just to be safe, or just to be sure. It's a pretty slim looking ship. Like I said, I don't like the big gaudy ships. I'm not knocking anybody else's designs, because I've seen a lot of kick-ass designs that people post online that kind of make me jealous sometimes. But as far as efficiency, what the hell?
The great
Derelict.
serpent demands blood! Are you prepared to face judgment?
Damn it. I'm trying to move and I keep running into like all the debris. So anyways, yeah, I've seen a lot of really cool designs online. Like,
Accept your
a lot of them are
suffering,
glitched,
Agent!
which I find disappointing, because I don't, like, they're fine for like if you're just doing like gimmick build stuff, but personally I think it's kind of cheating if you're glitching stuff to make it fit, and I don't do that. But I mean, it's a single player game, so like who cares, right? It's not like we're competing against each other. And I'm glad in the Starship Design Reddit they have in the flare you have to choose whether you want to put it in the glitched section or the not vanilla or non-glitch build section. So anyways, this is the ship. Like I said, it's pretty good. I don't know. Let's see. I don't really have any ideas for my next build. Like, I'll just have to sit down and start playing with it. But I'm happy with the way this came out. I'm gonna head back. I want to see something real quick. Whoops. Oh my god. I used to know how to do this. You know, when you're if you just want to go back to the system, you're supposed to just hold the tab. And I don't know why I always just double tap everything, and I keep screwing it up all the time. Let's go back to Alpha Centauri. Oh my god, just select it. If you haven't watched my previous video about the digipick trick, I posted at the end of this. It's actually pretty nice. Now that the patch has gone into effect, you can open any lock using a single digipick. So it's actually pretty interesting. That
We're
little
asking
thing I noticed
everyone to
finally
take care.
about the
Hey,
way that the
what can I do
digipicks
for you?
work. It's a little trick
Sure,
that
have
I
at it.
thought was pretty helpful. I want to show you something. And I don't know what the X factor is here. So these are Class B engines, right? If we go down to the bottom here and we look at these Supernova 22s, they have an engine thrust of 2400. These have 2500, and these Class B engines have a maneuvering thrust of 5550, and these have 7650. Watch what happens if I, and I had 100 mobility, right? So let me here just to make sure. So yeah, 100 mobility, right? So add engines. That's the most powerful supernovas, and they're 3 power, so you can have 4 of them. My mobility is only 93. Is it because of the reactor? Like, why would these have more thrust overall, each per engine, same number of engines, less mobility? Is it the reactor? Let's test it. Take out that Class B reactor, add a Class C. We'll do a DC fuser. Yeah, why is it less thrust? Like, it doesn't, or less mobility. I don't get it. I'll have to figure that out later. But anyways, that's just something I noticed. I was just dorking around with the idea of making this a Class C ship. So what I'd done was added these and then those had to go somewhere else. But I thought these engines looked pretty good here. Pretty decent design. But anyways, that's what I noticed when I was playing around. I was like, these engines have more thrust, but they're giving me less mobility. So I don't know how that works out. That was just weird. Anyways, that's the Delta Dart. If you guys have any ideas or other designs you might want to see, let me know, because I've built so many ships now. They're all kind of starting to look the same. So this is just something I was playing around with the old Gateway build. My little roly-poly. But I've built probably 30 or 40 ships at this point, and I don't know, I'm running out of ideas, so have fun. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.